And when you think of them at a distance, you've got more opportunity of seeing a bigger picture. You're not sort of caught in that confrontation when they're right in front of you with all of that bad speech and that bad memories. You can stand back, get a bigger picture. Maybe you can actually forgive them because understanding the pressures or the difficulties they've been under. You can get a bigger picture when you're at a distance. But when you get the bigger picture at a distance, especially they're not sort of confronting you or giving you a hard time in this very moment, but you're at the distance there, it's much easier to have compassion. Those of you who want to buy one of, or not buy, we have some calendars for 2008. We've got some quotes, which I put on those calendars, just for donations to the retreat centre. And one of the quotations on there is that, if you've got someone who's very angry at you and it really gives you a hard time, remember you only have to live with them for a few minutes every day, but they have to be with themselves 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the rest of their lives. You only have to put up with them for a small time. And things like that give you an understanding of why you can be compassionate to people who hurt you. And not only that, we can also particularly develop thoughts. This is striving, deliberate practice in the same way we practice at the gym, that we practice, reading books to get some exam, or we learn some other trade, whether it's Tai Chi or whether it's Thai kickboxing or whatever, in order to achieve something. Now we are trained to be kind, to be compassionate. And that's an important part of being a Buddhist. It should be an important part of being any religion. And it's not just loving your group. It's just unconditional kindness. And it also goes to yourself. And it also goes to life as well. And it also goes to your body. To be kind to this body, as I taught at the beginning of this meditation. You learn what kindness is by being aware of something, soothing it, and seeing the amazing benefit that compassion has on just relaxing the body. Again, when you're harming your body, when you're hurting your body, we call that tension, stress. You've got an ache in the body and you're actually scrunching up against it. It's actually a bit of ill will towards that physical feeling, rather than just being with it, expanding it, loving it, being kind to it. And so when you learn what compassion is, it's amazing what you can do with your body. Sometimes that people think like monks are holy, especially the nuns, compassionate nuns, they can come and do the chanting on you and they can come and make you feel good. Why do you feel good in such situations? Because of the kindness and compassion, power of such beings. Why do you feel really good when you have a nice little dog or a cat who comes and cuddles you? And the reason is because they show you compassion. Compassion is a great healing force. So in religion we make use of that. We particularly develop it, we get it very, very strong. We can zap any part of our body with that compassion and kindness. We can zap other people and we become even much better than a nice cuddly dog. Who we come home from work, had a really hard day, and just everything's gone wrong, and this little dog comes and just so happy to see you, wags his tail, and just wants to nuzzle you. Doesn't that make you feel better? So the power of compassion is great. And then you can start doing the power of compassion even in your meditation. Because what compassion actually is, what this kindness, what I say, open the door of your heart, is actually a non-doing. A non-reacting, and accepting, and embracing, and being with. That's why it is an effort, a striving, which leads to peaceful, calm, still states. That's why it's quintessential to the path of meditation, which brings this beautiful stillness. You cannot get to stillness with this aggressive, angry, violent striving. No more than any government can make peace by waging war. And you all know that if you read your newspapers, but how many people wage war in their lives thinking that's the way they're going to find some peace? They wage war in their family thinking that they can actually get peace in their home. Or wage war against themselves. I'm going to beat this cancer. I'm going to sort of get my own way in the office. I'm going to make it in this world. You never get success through such aggression. This is why that compassion part of things, we know that that is an embracing, that brings peace, that brings a settling of things. And if you can't do that at work, if you can't do that in your home, at least you can do that in yourself. And once you do it in yourself, then maybe you can start doing it in your home. And when you do it in your home, maybe you can start doing it in your office. When you do it in your office, maybe then you might start a Buddhist political party and bring some peace to the country or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, you have to start inside. That compassion brings that peace. That's why it's a training, that's why it's an effort which is required to develop the compassion. In the same way, one of the other things which I was saying that we should practice hard to attain is to be patient. Because those of you who know your Buddhism know one of the most important sayings of the Buddha was Kanti Paramanta Potitika, which means like patience is the highest of the spiritual practices. And that's in the Awadapatimokkha, it's in the Dhammapada, it's actually part of the same verses which we have inscribed underneath the Buddha statue outside. You know, not doing anything bad, doing what is good, purifying the mind. These are the teachings of the Buddha. It's the next verse, I think either before or afterwards. So, you know, the patience is such an important quality that it's something we deliberately strive to attain, and to grow, and to make part of ourselves. Because sometimes we can be such impatient beings, always want it done right now. Which is why one of the other, I hope it's in that calendar, I can't remember now, one of my other favourite sayings is, never do today what you can put off until tomorrow, because you might die tonight. Be patient for goodness sake. Or, as I said in Mosman Park, to the delight of all the ladies in that little group, when you go home and you see how many dirty dishes there are in the sink, before you start washing them and cleaning them, check how many clean dishes there are stacked up in the shelves. And if there are more clean dishes than dirty dishes, quit while you're ahead. Because is that what life is really all about? Just cleaning dishes? Just getting things out of the way? And that's what we call impatience, getting things out of the way. And of course, we get one thing out of the way, two more things coming for you to do. And if you try and do that at work, they think you're more efficient, your boss will give you more things to do. So the only real practice which really makes a lot of sense is learning how to be patient, learning how to stop sometimes.